News with Gina.
The news with Gina Grad.
Well, a Christmas ad from exercise bike company Peloton has been widely mocked on social media as being sexist and out of touch and even dystopian. The ad, which has been viewed more than 1 million times on YouTube, sees a woman receive an exercise bike for Christmas from her husband. She then records her workouts over the following year in a vlog and presents it to him as a gift, as a way of saying thank you. The criticism knocked the company's shares with they closed more than 9% lower than usual on Tuesday. Some people complained it is sexist for a man to give his wife an exercise bike for Christmas, suggesting that she needs to lose weight. One headline said, woman goes from 116 pounds to 112 pounds. Others noted that despite the claims the bike has changed her, the already slim woman looks exactly the same. Some said it looks like an episode of Black Mirror. And here is the ad if you haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, I've been studying it closely. She's pumped.
Peloton, give it up for our first time ride.
Right.
She's nervous.
Ride. I'm a little nervous, but excited. Let's do this. 5 days in a row. You surprised?
I think it's the music that also bumps people.
Tall Bachman.
That was totally
Tool tune.
Boston 50 ride.
She just said my name. A year ago, I didn't realize how much this would change me.
Did you get her Final Cut Pro?
This holiday, give the gift of Peloton.
She got her Peloton and an editing bay, commercial editing bay, with an ad and a full-time editor. Had a guy doing a mix. He did a sound mix. He did a color correct mix on it. So he had a full crew and a Peloton.
It's quite a gift.
So she did quite
I
a
like
job
that the
knocking
next
that
year
out.
he was like, I got you a Peloton and you got me a video of Peloton.
Yep.
So I was watching this thing, and it's weird. Now, see, there's a double-edged exercise sword, which is if you get it for a fat chick, then she's insulted, and so is the audience. If you get it for the super fit chick, then why did she need your thing? She obviously is doing something that's keeping her pretty firm the way it is. So
She's purging.
It's kind of a weird, it's a weird thing. Like you can't use the fat chick; you'll get pushed off the end of a pier. But if you use the skinny chick, they'll go, doesn't she look good enough already? This is us out of problems, but there's no real anything going on here. But, you ran a 50-mile ultra marathon, Bonneville Salt Flats, Michelle, last year. Well, I want to talk about it in a second. All right.
Wait, but this, like the Peloton, she's just a lady who likes exercise. If someone got me a Peloton, I would be thrilled. Like, stop giving your story to this lady. You don't. She's clear. Yeah, she's fit, and she was probably like, if I was gonna do her backstory, which doesn't exist because she's fictional. But if I was going to do her backstory, I would say that she's a mom, she's busy, and she was like, you know what I would love if I didn't have to go to the gym, if I could do this at home. And he was like, I hear you, I got this for you. And she was like, I love it. Thank you so much.
Right.
In no context did he say, here you go, you fat pig. Jump on this every once in a while.
Oh, if you read some of those articles, do you have any of those articles, Max Zapata?
It's all these people just bringing their own baggage into the
projection.
Spinning yards.
Absolutely, it is. And I watched this commercial and it drove me fucking nuts. And it has nothing to do with weight or exercise or anything, which is, I was looking, he bought her $900 worth of stationary bike, and she was it's like she'd been liberated from Auschwitz or something. It's like, I'm so indebted to this man. And then at the end, they were watching it. A year had gone by, but still the bloom wasn't off the rose.
No, far from it.
And then she's looking at it with the look like, does he like it? Does he still? He appreciates how much she appreciates. I don't know what that thing is. $1,200.
Yes,
I don't know what that got. I
bought my membership.
All right, I got my wife a $100,000 Tesla X, and she grunted at me. She walked past me in the hall. So I'm looking at through the eyes of that man.
Yeah.
I'm looking at through the eyes of the husband. I came home with a brand new Jaguar, parked it in the garage, walked into my living room with my kids. My wife were playing video games. I went, I got a brand new Jag in the garage. And I went, yeah, okay. And then they got back to Fortnite. So I see it through those. That's my perspective.
Yeah, you have no relatability.
That's why I'm angry at the commercial, not for the weight or the body shaming or any of that. Do you have any?
I don't think people understand how how much of a cult cycling is.
Yeah.
Like people go to
Apparently.
those Soul Cycle classes and they act like they're like part of a club. Like they're like that's like their peak. I was in one in the West Village in Manhattan at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. And there's all these women there that had like these huge diamond rings on, clearly not working women. And the instructor kept yelling things like, be your dreams. And some of that was like,
It's good.
Yeah.
I think they are.
They are. Yeah. I mean, they're doing a
Life.
great job.
Also, I feel like you need a back wheel to realize your dreams. You know what I mean? Just sitting there literally spinning.
Yeah.
It's a metaphor for why you have your afternoons free every single day.
Have you ever seen the Peloton ad that
I've seen.
the
Well, you
spoof-
say,
Yes.
and I say yes.
the spoof where
No, Chris
they
is gonna
just
find
they
it.
show all the because in
Oh,
every
I saw
ad
it,
it's like
yeah.
in front of a beautiful window
Right.
and like
Frank Lloyd Wright House.
yeah there's like a guy that does all this, like it was a thread on Twitter
Yes.
about all the different places you're supposed to put Peloton.
Oh my God.
I've done 20 minutes on these architectural digest
Marvels.
for all
Yeah.
50s, and the whole Peloton and the Peloton woman. We did this 3 years ago.
With Christy, yeah.
She's the second wife. The Peloton girl.
The Peloton is $2,245. Ironically, the exact same price of the trumpet I'm going to return.
and the
my
same
dad.
thank you.
So
The same appreciation.
oh my God! Buy someone a $100,000 car and they belch. Jesus Christ! Yeah, to me, I look at these commercials where they're so pumped, like, oh my God, and I like the approving look. Sometimes get you approved. Did you approve?
Did I do a good job?
I've been a good little girl.
Did that motherfucker not even put a bow on that goddamn thing? Couldn't we bother to put a bow on it?
Speaks for itself.
The second
Can I
car,
see that frame?
the ones that bother me the most are the car with the bow commercial
Yeah.
where the wife comes out and it's snowing. Oh.
Did you see the one where
No bow.
she gets trucks for both, or he
Yes,
gets trucks
the
for both,
black
and she's
one
like,
at GMC.
I won the red or whatever
Yeah.
it is. It's like, oh my God.
Again,
His and hers.
I also like their 27-year-old couple standing in front of $9 million worth of house. Like the Guggenheim is behind them. Like, what do you guys, where's this couple? And you're buying trucks? Like, who is
His and
this?
hers.
Who is this couple?
Parents passed away.
Max Bada, sorry, do you have that? There was a couple of articles about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more than a couple out there.
But there was a couple you read me.
Yeah, I mean, well, so the stock's been dropping. People were immediately outraged, calling out the husband's unhealthy control over his wife.
Maybe she wanted it.
What
wanted the
article
money.
Seemed
from
very grateful.
She seemed
what
so happy.
Washington something or something? What did you read me? You read me an article or two.
I told you that the stocks were dropping, and Gina had it in her news. I never.
You
actually-
read. You said you read you read a thread. You read a thing. Articles. No, you didn't read it
I
to
don't
me?
know what you're. No, I never read you an article about this particular subject.
Oh, all right.
You're
was
probably thinking of the
listening.
Tim Ryan
I was
stuff.
listening to Tim Ryan stuff. All right. Well, there's articles in I don't know, Washington Post or something like that. There's some pretty
Oh, they have thoughts
funny,
about it?
pretty funny articles about how she's in a gilded cage and blah blah blah. And it's like, oh fuck. But again, it's like shooting Cecil the Lion. It makes me happy that we're out of problems
That's
as
right.
a society. Like if
a good
this
sign.
if this can induce moral outrage, we have no more problems. If this is we
I
find this
forgot about
morally
Cecil.
reprehensible, then we're done.
We all did.
We don't have problems.
Don't you think a normal Peloton commercial would be like, if it was me, like thanking him for the first 2 days and then being like, look, I really appreciate it, but I'm just not feeling good today. And then it would just be 360 more days of excuses why I'm not doing the Peloton
Yeah.
bike.
Or
I want
my-
to see the Peloton that's covered in dust.
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
That has your laundry hanging from it.
Yeah, they always have flannel shirts and stuff hanging from them. So again, nobody. In terms of the moral outrage, is anyone really morally out? But what Max Pat is looking for now, it's you read columns in big newspapers where they're really
Devoted.
using some serious language.
Isn't it just another fun way to punch up because everybody's jealous of the Peloton life and the Peloton people, and it's just a fun way to be able to express fake outrage? Because you're not punching down with the Peloton crowd.
I'm just mad at all the people that are like, oh, this woman, they're making her exercise. It's like, I mean, I love exercising. I love to do it. If someone got me a Peloton, I'd be thrilled. Stop it. Just because you
Just say
hate
thank
it.
you.
If you want to be lazy and not exercise, fine. But this lady wants to. Let her have her bike.
Well, also,
fictitious lady.
This fake lady.
it's a weird. We have this insane relationship with food and exercise because on one hand, we never stop talking about health and healthcare and the cost of healthcare and diabetes and, morbid obesity and blah, blah, blah. And on the other hand, if you try to tell some kid, hey, that's not healthy, or some woman that's not healthy, or you need to, then all of a sudden you get shamed. Yeah. And it's like, well, which fucking is it? Is it good for you? Like, at least with smoking, it's super consistent. Like, smoking's bad for you. And nobody lights a cigarette and goes, oh, that guy's a hero. They just go, we don't like smoking. Like, we're super consistent. Food is just, it's insane. It's back to Little Miss Sunshine. It's like the Greg Kinnear's telling the fat chick, don't eat ice cream for breakfast, and everyone's yelling at him. Well, like, which one is it? Is it bad for you? Does healthcare cost us a lot, or many people can't afford the coverage of them? It's like, because they're unhealthy. We're the politicians, like, preaching and then every time you say, there's some insane number, which is the average American woman weighs as much as the average American man did like 30 years ago, or some scary number like that. Like, we're getting super fat, and all the people that are like, we don't have insurance, people don't have insurance. What do you think it's going to be like for those people's joints and hip and knee replacements and what their diabetes and their livers and their lungs, and the people are walking around with the extra 100 pounds at 23 years old? What are they going to cost us when they're in their 50s? And why are we not getting into that? We're just getting into what's it going to cost to take care of them, or how are we going to take care of them, or who's going to take care of them? What about them taking care of them now? Like a little preventative maintenance? Like, go to the Mojave Desert and run 50 miles with Michelle. Or the Salt Flats.
She'll whip you in the shake.
50 miles?
50 miles.
Wow.
I have one more thing on the Peloton.
Okay, I want to steer it toward you.
I imagine this woman in the ad is like, in real life, is like, please don't pull it. I love these residuals.
That's right.
That's right.
I'm trying to save up enough to get away from my abusive husband.
Trying to save enough to get a Peloton.
Yeah.
Speaking of Peloton, yeah.
Oh, can I just say this real quick? Speaking of a lot of trumpet talk today, I don't do a really good job of tooting my own horn around here, but I famously and amazingly called the Rachel Dolezal thing 36 hours before it broke. I was like, someone's just going to identify as black. There's going to be like, I'm a black person. Right. And that happened. There will be someone who is either suing their doctor or files a complaint or something over fat shaming. You need to lose weight.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're fat shaming me. Because now the doctor used to be the one to tell you, you have to lose weight.
Talk to Dr. Drew about that. I think they're already afraid to approach that with patients.
I'm calling it out.
Yeah.
Speaking of Peloton models, I don't know. Like, coming up, there was, when I was young, it's like, he's dating a Playboy Playmate. And then it morphed into Victoria's Secret, which is still strong. But I don't know. If I was at a bar and a dude's like, I'm banging a Peloton chick right now, I'd be like, you fucking, let me smell your dick. Like, you got it made. Because the only bad part about this is the fake kid and the fake husband. No. Other than that, minus that, fucking awesome.
She's a smoke show.
Yes, I agree. And
she's got endurance.
This is going to boomerang back, I think, because the Peloton models are almost always hot blondes, and she's got a little ethnic in her. And some group, I don't know what she is, but whatever she is going to have to boomerang it back on the woke, no joke people going, she's Indian American or whatever it is, and blah, blah,
that
blah,
would
blah,
be
blah.
great. Yeah.
She's got some nationality.
She's 1/4 Cherokee or something.
She's from the Gratitude Tribe. Hey, thank you. Hey, thank you. To infiltrate that tribe. Yeah, all right. Where were we, Gina?
All right. Well, I'm sorry to turn this so very dark, but boy, oh boy, it is in the news. A veteran LAPD officer has been removed from active duty after allegedly fondling the breast of a dead woman. Here's how they caught him. The unnamed officer responded to a call.
You always yell, wake up, if you're going to do that. Yeah. That's my
Put the mirror under the nose
always
first.
Yell, wake up.
Yep. So they've responded to a call.
Plausible deniability.
Checking for a pulse.
About a dead woman in an apartment. After he and his partner...
Robber in the morgue. I know.
Pull her out of the drawer.
Playing it safe.
After he and his partner confirmed that the woman was dead, the partner left the room and he turned off his body cam. But here's the thing. Apparently, body cams have a 2-minute buffer before they're deactivated for just such an occasion,
Cool
I would
down
imagine.
period.
And a random inspection turned up this sickening footage. The LAPD spokesperson tells NBC News an investigation is underway, and there is no apologizing for this guy. They're saying he's the worst, he's disgusting, he shouldn't be here. They are not supporting him in any way, shape, or form.
I heard his partner said he was a good cop. A feel.
That just made me spit. I don't know why.
Oh, that's the fucking in the annals of like being called into the boss's office. Like, what happened? I leave the coffee machine on again and burn the shit at the bottom of the carafe. Nah, this is a little different,
a little heavier.
Bob. This is.
But you're cool with the kid I shot? You're
Yeah,
good?
no, black or Hispanic, that's fine. But this is a problem. Your body can't. You turn it off sometimes. Yeah, it has to kind of coast to a stop. And
oh God, there's not like a 3-second buffer, is there?
it's more
4
like 120.
Oh no.
So, did they release the tape?
No, and I didn't go searching for it because I thought it would be too upsetting.
It's going to be.
How did she die?
Don't know. Unclear.
Here's the thing. I'll bet. I'm going to make 2 bets. You ready? So we can all be nauseated at the same time. I'll bet you it's domestic battery or something like her husband. Well, when 35-year-old women die, it's not normally, the Crips or the Bloods. Like, it's normally the husband who does it, right?
That's right. You watch true crime, you know.
While he's being indicted for murder, he's also suing the LAPD
100%.
because what she did to the deceased, and then he's going to explain, I love my wife, and drowning her in the tub was a moment. All right, that was a lateral move. Yeah, all right, everybody makes mistakes, but I need to be paid for my suffering.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
That'll be horrible. Keith Morrison will tell us all about it.
You got to sue. Someone's alive and has to sue, right?
On the behalf,
It's going to be weird because, we're suing for pain and suffering. Well, she was dead, so that's a tough putt, right?
Yeah, has punitive work.
But listen, the mom of one of the vermin who did the North Hollywood shootout, the mom who was like, Sea-Hag mom who was like housing elderly people in some flop house in Pasadena and like hammering their Social Security checks, she sued the LAPD.
And?
They settled. I'm pretty sure they settled because. So the point is it's kind of a weird world, but it's like you could have killed your wife and still sue the LAPD.
Wow. Because
her son shot 1,300 rounds into North Hollywood in the community, was killed by the LAPD, and she charged for wrongful death.
Oh, my God.
On it, and because they let him bleed out.
You know what? Please ask Mark Garrigus about this.
You're a senator.
Yeah, I'm sure he's
No, I'm serious.
No, I'm talking about this one.
He did do something on this.
No, I'm talking about this upcoming jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Hillary Clinton put to rest a long-standing tabloid rumor telling Howard Stern that she has not, in fact, had a lesbian affair. Here's a clip. And first she's talking about Bill.
Good guy.
Oh, he must have been so upset.
He was so handsome. He was really handsome. Really handsome. Yeah, he looked like a Greek god. He was really handsome.
No kidding. Greek god.
Yeah, he was very attractive.
Well, I don't know. I'd listen to you.
Well, contrary to what you may hear, I actually like men.
Oh, right, yeah. That's the other thing. You're a lesbian.
Women friends.
Raise your right hand. You've never had a lesbian affair. Never
even been tempted.
So she also discussed the 2016 election and said she was disappointed that Bernie Sanders waited so long to endorse her, which she believes cost her the election, and hopes he doesn't do it again to whoever gets the Democratic nomination. And quick question, don't you think it's a little sort of out of fashion to go on a show and to protest so much about not being gay? Don't you think that's not what we really do right now?
Yeah, you got to be careful. Yeah.
I wonder who that's for.
With her, you mean.
Going, by the way, I'm not a lesbian, never been tempted.
Well, I think there is a thing. I mean, she's 69, pardon the pun. I mean, what is she, 68?
Probably.
70? I don't know. Look, you don't...
72.
You don't really...
It's not funny.
It's kind of like... It's always famously, when I have those conversations where I go, I don't mean gay like sucking dick. I mean gay lame. So it's not bad. I'm just saying gay is lame, not sucking a guy off, but just lame. Gay lame. And I realized
stupid.
Dumb, stupid. Wouldn't want it. And then you're like, oh yeah, that's more.
That's not.
That's more
helpful.
insulting. So I think she's of a generation. She's like, no, and doesn't realize that. When you protest too much, what do you protest? Then is that a goal? Or what are you saying about that lifestyle if you keep protesting?
That's
you know
the
what
thing.
I mean?
I could see someone telling her, ooh, bring that up. It'll be edgy on the Howard Stern show. But it came off exactly the opposite.
Yeah. I also you can't be Hillary Clinton and have lied as much as you have and then be like, I swear, right hand to God, I swear. And you're like, come on.
There's an email of me eating pussy, but I think that may have been bleach bit or something.
It's like, I'm not saying, I don't think politicians should be honest, but just don't get us to try to believe you now.
Yeah.
And also, once you kind of crossed over, once you've seen your 67th birthday, we don't need to go back and picture your lesbian experiences.
Yeah.
That's more of college.
You're on the other side of the
college move. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Also, stop blaming Bernie. Go to Michigan and Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That's right.
There's a lot more blame to go around than Bernie Sanders not endorsing you fast enough.
I'm not saying he's not part of the whatever.
But don't put it all in the Bernie
just
basket.
Don't put it all
By the way, she should be eternally grateful to Bernie, who was at the debate and just went, enough about the emails. I don't want to hear about the emails anymore. He could have made a nice meal out of those emails. And he's like, I put it behind us. Let's talk about the subject. So she should sort of tip her lesbian cap to her.
That's exactly right. Well, Kanye West is going from the big stage at Joel Osteen's Houston Lakewood Church to Yankee Stadium, according to TMZ. This is just getting bigger and bigger. Sources close to Kanye say the two will take center stage on May 2nd, 2020 for a mega event called America's Night of Hope. TMZ says that Joel will do a sermon and then Kanye and his choir will do their thing. If Joel's past appearances at Yankee Stadium are any indication, because he's had them, this one's sure to sell out quickly, and it's about 55,000 seats there. This will be Joel's third time doing Night of Hope at the stadium. Kanye's first.
What's Joel's message that's new and improved or better than what we've heard in the past?
I don't know if it's new and improved, but he's kind of like a sort of a broadcasting, not in that sense, but a broad, Christian motivational speaker.
The new message is, I've got Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what
but
I mean?
he's played there without Kanye.
Yeah,
right?
he has a mega church in Houston.
There's a mega church.
No, he's a very, very, very popular.
Thousands of seats.
What is
He's the guy who, when Houston had a lot of flooding, he wouldn't open his church.
He did after much browbeating.
Yeah. Well, you know what I don't know. Tell me if you guys, when you hear about this thing where this 19-year-old chick, she's got 10 billion followers on YouTube and this, that, and she does things. She does parodies of the commercials. And then you watch it for 3 minutes and it's always the same. That's not funny. There's nothing there.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
How did this how do you get this way? And I feel the same way about the motivational guys or the church guys. At some point you go, okay, let's hear what they have to say. And it's
A lot of platitudes.
Yes.
With a little bit of Christian imagery, I would imagine.
I don't know if you guys saw I think, Gina, you mentioned it to me, so I'm hesitant to bring it up. The Tony Robbins documentary.
I'm not your guru.
Mm-hmm.
It is meant to be a fluff piece. It is not flattering.
No, I said the same thing when we talked about it.
I don't know what your reaction was, but
I think it's a great documentary.
It's great, but it's not great the way he wants it to be great.
Right.
They're following him around. They have all access. It's a Tony Robbins fluff piece. It is not flattering.
It's very interesting because it's the first time
paper thin.
It's the first time the public is sort of allowed to see one of these, week-long retreats, and it is an eyeful. I highly recommend it.
I feel like people
are charlatan.
They're so thirsty to belong to something. People just want a group to belong to.
Oh my God, you guys, Brian. You dodged a bullet because Maria Menounos is all about.
She's
Tony
in the
Robbins.
documentary.
Oh my God!
Well, then she dodged a bullet. Wait a minute, who dodged a bullet? Somebody dodged a bullet because she loves it.
If you got a free pass for a week to go to Tony Robbins, you wouldn't do it. I would do it.
I'd do it for a day. You know what, though? I will say it's one of those things like Scientology or whatever. If it works for you, and Maria's doing pretty well for herself, and she's a very positive person, God bless. But there are a lot of weak-minded people in that audience that are Oh boy,
They get torn down pretty good.
oh boy.
Did he get Me Too'd up pretty good?
Yes.
I think he did.
But he got it to go away, from what I remember. I don't know if there was a side conversation. I don't know what was exchanged, but it went away pretty quickly.
I feel like there was an article about him, and this could be a million other people, so I might be pinning it on the wrong guy, but who he was saying that, like, women, it's your fault if you're in bad relationships.
Well, that sounds like something he would say because he's all about 100% personal responsibility.
Yeah.
Don't care what your circumstances are. But I don't know if that was
I'm
him.
not saying I 100% disagree with that. It was just one of those things that, taken out of context, it was like...
I follow the teachings of the Bikram yoga guy. Yeah. You bitch, it should pay for my jizz. I'm like, okay.
You should be so lucky.
Hey, you hope I jizz into a fan and some of it hits your tender skin. You just leave $10 by the side of the bed before you slink off to your whorehouse.
You love that guy.
I love that guy.
What's the name of the documentary? It's like the yoga something and
It's
assault
like Bikram. He's like, I'm so good at yoga, I could suck my own dick, but I'm bored. So I'll let you suck it, ladies. We'll go by height. No, alphabetically. No, surprise me.
let me figure out the pattern as it goes.
That's right.
Is it Bikram Chowdhury? Is that his name?
Yeah, the Bikram yoga guru predator.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's quite a title. What's it about?
Yeah. I call this one down, bitch. I mean, dog. Whatever. Start sucking.
I think Bikram is the title, and Yoga Guru Predator.
This is not what's on my Netflix page, but maybe
it's on there.
Maybe I don't see this art on there. It's got
Yeah,
another
don't give me
picture
this
of
art
him.
either.
But either way, he's awesome. He's lying. It turns out people who are really seeking something out, like a yoga's going to change. I was molested by my stepdad, and yoga's going to fix it. They're sort of malleable. You know,
Yeah.
when you tell them stuff,
They're searching.
They're searching, and they're like ones that get caught up in cults and stuff like that. Like they're looking for something.
Anyone that's in a cult, or like the people that start a big thing, like the Joel Osteen, even Kanye, this stuff is like a little... I went to a Sunday service, and
You did?
I gotta say, it's amazing to see. The music is great. They brought in a drum line at one point. It was great. But at the same time, I was also like, this feels like someone could start saying something, and then we could all march somewhere and then burn
Round up
places
some
down.
Jews. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember what kind of trumpet the guys were playing? Because I feel like Kanye's a top-notch musician. He would only play with great players, right?
He would know.
They'd know their equipment.
Well, Justin Bieber has asked his fans for a special gift this holiday season, a promise to take a stand against racism. The star made his plea on Instagram on Wednesday. I knew Michelle would like this, in which he apologized for his own past missteps and said, "When I was young, I was uneducated and found myself really saying hurtful things and not knowing the power of my words. Racism is still very prevalent, and I want to use my voice to remind we are all human beings and all equal before God."
Are they known for this? Like when a synagogue is desecrated, you think the cops jump and go, Bieber fans, and the other looks and nods. Hold on, let me feel that dead chick's tit. But yeah, I'm with
The
you.
optics are bad on this, Justin.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm done arrested.
Any Bieber?
I've seen enough of these.
Any believers around here?
Let me check Justin's list.
Yeah, it could be some Claymates.
I want to know what N-word story they squashed.
Well, funny you should ask, because apparently Justin has a few questionable moments in his past, including some decade-old footage of him dropping N-bombs backstage and a charge that he dropped racial slurs during a fight at an NBA playoff game. And so I think he's trying to change the old image around as well. So if we can all do that for Justin for Christmas, he would sure appreciate it.
All right. But then what about the ones that are already super evolved as it pertains to race? You've given them nothing to do.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Just keep being excellent.
They can't, like you go, my wish for all my fans is for them to do their own yard work this year. And they go, I live in an apartment. Well, then you got nothing to do. Shouldn't we assign a separate thing for those people to do?
Yeah, what do you
who
suggest?
Already just have love in their heart toward everyone else?
Yeah.
I don't know. How about you get a Peloton and you play a trumpet while you're saying if you can play Grand Old Flag on the trumpet.
That'll show Justin your glory.
It's a big outlay of cash.
Yeah.
I just like the person that saw that and was like, you know what? Yes.
Yeah.
Finally, let's take off this swastika.
Yeah.
Let's take off this sheet hood and
They probably had to
because
yell
Justin
like
said
somebody
it.
like, "Hey Tim, get the cross out of the kerosene. It's off.
Justin says no.
Not tonight. He did the move.
We're going for a different black church?
Like in Goodfellas when they're playing cards and they're going to kill a guy.
Forget about tonight.
Forget about tonight. Forget about it.
Don't abort.
I read a tweet. I'm off. Yes.
Well, I just want to make sure everybody stays nice and angry. So I wanted to let you know the Art Basel Miami that's going on right now. And I'll explain what that is. A banana duct taped to a wall has sold for $120,000 at Art Basel Miami, the international art fair featuring works by acclaimed and emerging artists. Another edition of this concept art sold for $150,000. The minimalist artwork, they're calling it, comes from the Italian artist Maurizio Catalan.
I know everyone thinks this guy's making off like a bandit, but once you back out the 8 inches of duct tape and then the banana,
you got to switch out that banana.
You got to understand, he doesn't just own bananas and duct tape. You got to go out and buy that, and then you have to back that out of the $150,000. So I don't know what you're left with after that. Then taxes.
Sure.
He's probably got an agent and a manager.
There's 10%, 15%. You're right. No, that's a good point. Yeah.
Would you like to know what this piece was called?
Yes, I'd like.
It's called Comedian.
So he sold. It's a white wall with a banana.
I don't think you get the wall.
Yeah, what all does it come?
Right.
I don't know. I think just the banana.
That's some drywall for the money.
So ArtNet reports that the first edition was purchased by a French woman and the second by a French man.
Oh, the man. I get the man.
Yeah.
Look, here's how the man shit goes. You're at a fucking bar and there's some hot chick. And this guy standing next to her, and he's going, "This Rolex Submariner cost me $13,000." I go, "That's cute,
adorable."
So you think you got money, huh?
No.
I paid $150,000 for a fucking banana and 8 inches duct tape.
You mean a banana boat?
You know what? We're already talking too much. Let's head back to my flat.
I can't
You want to know
wait.
how fucking rich I am? That's how rich I am. That guy paid $150,000. He got an Aston Martin.
Yeah.
I got a banana. So who's richer? You do the fucking math.
It's a very good point.
I can get the motivation for the woman immediately. She's mad at her rich husband, and she goes, "I'm going to spend $140,000 of your dollars."
That's right. That's good.
On a banana.
She is that guy's husband or wife. She's that guy's wife. They're freshly divorced. She's squandering. He's like, "I'll do you one better, bitch. It's going to get me laid." And you're right. Max Battle, look it up. I bet they're a couple.
10 years from now, they get back together. The love is back.
Yeah, and they make banana bread. Symbolically, they still have the bananas.
The banana colada song.
Yeah.
They find each other on a piece of art.
So Catalan did not expound on the meaning of the artwork, but the gallery owner told CNN that bananas are, quote, a symbol of global trade, a double entendre, as well as a classic device for humor.
You know this guy's got a fucking dad, this artist. What's he calling himself?
Maurizio Catalan.
Right. His name is Craig
Morris.
Morris.
Callstein.
And you know he's got a fucking dad's a long haul trucker, and it's like, Craig, Mauricio. Okay, right. I'm going to take a banana and tape it off. Okay, you're going to be sleeping on the fucking sofa later on tonight. Now get a fucking job, would you please? And then he comes back and he goes, "How'd the art exhibit go,
Ciao.
Craig? How'd it go? Anyone buy your banana?" "Yeah, we sold it."
As a matter of fact.
All right.
Oh, so some guy was hungry and gave you 45 cents? Nah, a little more.
Trader Joe wanted it back.
I like the ultimate comeback from the dad, though. Is like, still not enough to repay me for college.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, and they said this is a form in transforming everyday objects into vehicles of both delight and critique. So congratulations, Maurizio.
Here's the thing about art. If you're going to give the spiel, then it ain't art. See, I don't look at a Monet and go, "I don't get it," and then Monet tells me what it is, and I go, "Oh, now I like it."
You see, they're water
But if I'm
lilies.
just looking at a golden toilet with a fucking douche floating in it, and you have to explain to me that it represents the capitalism, like, once you get into long-winded, here's what it represents, that means it ain't shit.
Yeah, you didn't do
Right?
a job.
I'm out.
Yeah, songs are that way, poems are that way, art, any art is that way. If you just hear a great song, read a great poem, see a great painting, it's it. You get the big explanation about what it represents, it's always shit.
Are you ready to have your mind blown?
Yes.
The artist that did the banana duct tape also did the golden toilet.
Oh.
Whoa.
And that got stolen.
I know good work. Really? I
Yeah.
just put those
According
two
to Chris,
together?
yeah.
Wasn't that called like America or something?
I don't remember.
That's
was
right.
it?
Yeah.
It's called America.
Still-
Come on down, shit in America. It's awesome. By the way, we already had American Standard who made all the toilets, so I think we beat you to that one. All right, let me hit. Jesus Christ. I put the golden toilet and the banana taped to the wall together.
This is gold.
Let me hit.
You're right about that, Michelle.
All right, one more, Gina Grant.
Oh, goody. Well, when it comes to making babies, many women leave it to the sperminator. The Post broke the 44-year-old Ari Nagel's story on Father's Day 2016. Back then, the Brooklynite had only sired 22 children. Today, he's fathered 49 by sperm donation and 3 by his estranged wife. His oldest is 16, youngest is 3 months, and there's another 15 babies on the way in locations from Great Neck, New York to Ghana. Nagel says it keeps happening because he's just not very good at saying no. The City University of New York...
I'm looking at the picture, and all I got to say is, Nagel, please. Jesus Christ. How deep in the hood is that jizz getting?
Here you go, you fat pig.
Michelle, please.
All the women are very black around him, right?
Well,
is that
in
a
that
thing?
picture, yeah. I think that they are trying to put a little web series together, and so they might
Wasn't
be
there a bad Vince Vaughn movie about this?
I couldn't tell you.
Yes. There are
So-
no bad Vince Vaughn, but yes.
Oh, I can
yes,
tell you about
there
that.
is.
He's a city
It was about
university.
3 or 4
Yeah,
years
it was
old.
recent-ish.
You had to go back and revisit everybody.
He's a
Delivery
math,
man.
He's a
Delivery
thank
man.
you.
There you
He's
go.
a New York math professor, and he gets flown all over the world. Typically, single women and lesbian couples are who's requesting him. He claims he has super sperm, but his main appeal is that he never charges for this donation. So
It's
that
like
enables,
the Bikram guy.
but
He's
the
like,
opposite.
bitch, you need to pay me. But they
Right.
don't normally pay.
Which one?
The Bikram guy.
Well, they pay for the class.
Oh, that's true.
They pay $18.
Now, I am serious, though. There's 4 or 5 very black women standing around him. Usually you mix it up a little if you're trying to tell a story, unless this is part of the story.
Is there exclusively black
Well, they
women?
did say that he does have this happens in Ghana a lot with him.
Oh.
So New York and Ghana and everywhere in between.
What is his sell? Like, why does he say he has super sperm?
Okay, so apparently, and it doesn't totally add up because you have he says he has 85 million sperm per cubic centimeter, whatever it is. But
I've done this.
But so
I've done it. I had a competition with Jimmy once about who had the better sperm.
Yeah.
And I think he had a higher count, but mine were more mobile. Like we're few, but we're proud.
The motility. 300.
We ate every part of the pussy. We used it all.
When I looked it up, it said the average is anywhere between 15 million and 200 million, which would put him basically at an average.
Middle.
Yeah, so I don't know if he has super sperm, but he is very
He has super
generous.
convincing ability.
Maybe
Yes.
Ghanese men are on the lower average, you know what I mean, for
Possible.
sperm production.
Ghanaian, sure.
Ghanaian, I don't
That's
know.
how your
Ghanaian.
that's how your grandmother would say
Okay.
it.
Wait, so does he's not financially responsible for any of these?
No, and
clearly?
he does it for free, and it's very transactional. And I would watch this web series, The Sperminator.
Yeah. And by the way, sperm count is going down for men.
Because of cell phones in the pockets? Or just lack of activity?
There's a couple thoughts. A, we're all turning into fucking chicks. I mean, that was the book title from 10 years ago. But secondly, they do have thoughts about plastics. And,
interesting.
And
Like
Dr.
leaching
Drew is
into the
interviewed. Well, think
waters?
about the percentage of plastic
Yeah, of course.
that you're ingesting
Right.
versus 50 years ago. I mean, it's big.
I just saw Dark Waters yesterday. It's all about the plastics and everything leaching into the Teflon, leaching into the water.
Drew has interviewed a few guys, and we'll probably talk to them at some point too, that have more than one scientist who has some thoughts and data
Interesting.
about the sperm count and the plastic. But it's a confluence of
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
So I bet it's all the fucking us thinking like bitches all day, which is lowering the shit. All these fucking guys complaining about Peloton
Right.
ads. Like,
How do you
poor
test for
woman.
that? How do you test for that?
Look, hold on.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Your next book title,
Dr.
Thinking Like Bitches.
Dr. Drew said to me years ago that when you put men in a position of power, their testosterone goes up. So if your testosterone could rise because they gave you the corner office and made you run the West Coast division of whatever, well, if, it can move around. I guess, and if you're sitting around watching your stories all day and crying with your poodle, like maybe it'll start going out, and then it's the plastics and it's the environment and it's everything. But guys,
cell phones in the pockets,
cell phones in the pockets too. I mean, it could be 80 things all working at once. I wouldn't think it'd be one thing,
And then we turn to the sperminator.
Turn to the sperm. All right, bring it home, Gina Grad.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news. By the way, I'm not a lesbian. Never been tempted.
That was the news with Gina Grad.